Today we are going to discuss humanistic education. Before looking at humanism as a learning theory, we must first mention the base philosophy of humanism. Humanism is a philosophy that places importance on human beings rather than a supernatural being or deity. A person's moral compass or values do not stem from rules of religion, but rather from human nature and the human experience. Individuals give their own lives meaning, and it is our responsibility to live life in a way that will benefit the greater good of humanity as a whole. Humanists try to seek out the goodness of human beings and focus on reason and deduction when facing problems. Humanism came about during the Renaissance, a period from the 14th to the 16th century that boasted a major revival of literature, art, and learning in Europe. Humanists played a major role in the development of education at this time, believing that humans could be changed dramatically by education. Through studies of the humanities, such as history and philosophy, humanists pushed to create human beings of intellectual fortitude and honor. Now, the humanism learning theory was developed primarily through the work of Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. Maslow is best known for his hierarchy of needs, a theory that focuses on one's psychological health by addressing the primary and universal human needs in a pyramid order. Rogers was considered one of the founders of humanism in psychology and psychotherapy. He is also credited for his person-centered approach to understanding one's personality and human relationships. These two were humanistic psychologists and were heavily influenced by the humanists of the Renaissance era that wished to focus so heavily on education. So, what exactly is a humanistic education? This theory seeks to target the growth and development of the whole person through a learning approach that focuses on feelings, social skills, artistic capabilities, and practical skills, along with knowledge and intellect. This definition can be further explained through 5 principles. The first principle is choice and control. Student learning should be self-directed, and students should be encouraged to make choices throughout their education, giving them a sense of control over their learning. This is meant to create students that are motivated to learn, as they have the ability to focus their learning on material that they not only need, but want to learn. The second principle is felt concern. Students' feelings and emotional well-being are just as important to the learning process as personal interests. Humanists believe a student's mood and their concerns have a major impact on their ability to learn in the classroom. The third principle is the whole person. In this principle, students' feelings and knowledge carry the same level of importance in humanistic education. There is no separation between cognition and emotion when it comes to learning, meaning one's whole self should be involved in the learning process. Lessons and activities should focus on the whole person, go beyond fact shooting and straight lecture or note-taking. The fourth principle is self-evaluation. Humanistic educators tend to believe that self-evaluation is the most meaningful way of gauging one's educational growth and progress. Grades cause students to work to earn a specific score rather than working for their own satisfaction, interest, or intellectual gain. Self-evaluation forces students to truly observe what they have learned, what they can improve on, and where their education should head in the future. The fifth and final principle is teacher as a facilitator. The educator's primary goal is to foster an engaging and understanding learning environment where students are encouraged and supported when they are asked to take their learning into their own hands. Approach students with questions to promote individual thought and to spark in students a desire to seek out answers. This has been a look at the background and principles on humanism in education.